Hey, everybody. We're back again for our final little
College football video of the
college
season.
football. It is over. College football's over. Now it's time for some recruiting, a little spring games, a little talk about next year, a little way too early rankings here coming up probably soon. But we're going to finish it out with just a quick little recap of the Washington Michigan game, the final standings, the final rankings, and then a little bit of news here. But that Washington Michigan game came out just the way that we probably thought it would. Michigan, we really talked all year long. Michigan
Is a good team.
is a good team. We said several times throughout the year, Michigan may be the best team out there. And honestly, I would have loved to have seen them play Georgia just to see who was the best team out there. Because
with
Georgia,
our flawed force,
yeah,
thank goodness the team system's gone.
yeah, thank goodness the 4-team system is gone. Yeah, we're going next year to the 12-team playoff, which is fantastic.
Let's try to look over some statistics.
Yeah,
shall we?
we'll look over some statistics. Michigan, it started out nip and tuck. You didn't know what was going to go on, but Michigan's defense,
Their defensive line got after him.
their
Michael Penix.
he did, yeah. It was 7-0. Michigan scored on their first drive and really didn't look back.
Michigan just used that defensive line that
Yeah.
they had to
Yeah.
really just dominate the game.
They did. They definitely dominated the game. Penix ended up 27 for 51
With 2 picks.
with 2 picks and only 255 yards. So he ended up having to throw a lot because they were down the biggest part of the game. And when you throw a lot, you tend to throw
when you're getting bad passes.
some bad passes. So, but the Michigan's defense forced that.
Because Michigan's defense might be the best in the country. It really did earn that number 1 ranking throughout the playoffs.
They really did earn that number 1 ranking. Penix's QBR ended up at 63, which probably was his lowest of the year.
Oddly
Now,
enough, J.J. McCarthy didn't throw a touchdown
J.J.
pass.
McCarthy didn't look good either. He was 10 of 18, only threw 140 yards when his QBR was less than Penix's. So that just tells you again, it wasn't a quarterback battle. It was Michigan's defense versus Washington's offense.
And Michigan's defense was the winner.
Michigan's defense was the winner. Plus, Blake Corum, the running back for Michigan, was probably the winner. He had 21 carries.
For a $134 and 2 touchdowns.
Averaged 6.4
yards per carry.
That's not too bad in a national
And
championship game.
Michigan as a team had 300 yards rushing.
Yeah. And Washington's leading rusher had 33 yards.
That shows you that your defensive line can affect a game.
Michigan's defense won this game. It was not Michigan's offense. The running back was fantastic. I'll give it. They got a great offensive line. They got a great defensive line. So what they call the big uglies, the people in the trenches, the big guys in the trenches.
Michigan's got some good pancake boys.
They got some good pancake boys. They were good blocking. They were good tackling. They opened the holes for Corum. They shut the holes for Penix. And
shut the door on Washington's chance.
And shut the door real quick. Yeah, it was just bad. I said 7-3, and then
Michigan's running game just completely sliced them up.
it was bad. Yeah,
Domination on their way to their first national title since 1997.
yeah, and just a little note. 1997 was the last year of the old playoff system, and Michigan won it. In 1998, they went to the FBS championship, and Tennessee won it.
I know what
You
you're
know what
trying
I'm
to
going
say.
for? You know what I'm going for, don't you? 2023, Michigan wins the last year of the current playoff format.
So you're saying we're going to win it next year?
Tennessee wins national championship next year. I might be a Tennessee fan. I don't know. I could be an insane Tennessee fan. But I'm just saying, coincidences, coincidences happen, So, but no, congrats to Michigan. They are fantastic. Now, the question is,
Does Jim Harbaugh stay?
does he stay or does he go? I don't know. If I was Harbaugh, I would probably stay with Michigan. That's his alma mater. Now that he's won a national championship, they'll put a statue out there for him, and he could win one more title in the next 15 years and retire there.
I mean,
why
would
wouldn't you want that?
leave Michigan? You're all coming off a title.
His brother's won an NFL championship though, and he hasn't.
But so
his brother is, the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. He's won an NFL championship. Now Harbaugh Jr. has won the NCAA championship. So that's not a bad coaching family.
Nope. The Harbaughs, they got a bit of a mind, don't they?
They got a bit of a good coach, and their dad coached for 24 years, I think.
I remember those times when I called Jim Harbaugh a meme.
Yeah,
he would always underachieve in these kind of games, but
the last 3 years he's gotten better.
He's gotten better and better and better, and now
this year his defense was spectacular.
And
so
Jim
his offense
Harbaugh,
wasn't flashy, but they beat some people.
And Jim Harbaugh finally getting over the hump.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, I think Harbaugh might leave just because of the lure of the NFL. When he was in the NFL, he took the 49ers to the NFC Championship game, and then he went to the Super Bowl and played against his brother. So he's good enough to take an NFL team to the Super Bowl. And he might just be thinking in the back of his mind, I didn't win that. I was in there. I bet you I could win an NFL championship. Maybe I could. So if somebody throws a suitcase full of money on the table and said, "Hey, come coach for us," and you've got that little itch, a little monkey out there, and you're good. I say somebody might draw him out to go to an NFL team.
It's going to be really hard to pry
Raiders have
him.
a lot of money.
Trying to pry him from Michigan would be tough, though. He's a Michigan man, right?
Guess who's like a part owner of the Raiders now?
A Michigan man.
Tom Brady.
He's a Michigan man.
A Michigan man. How about them apples?
Oh boy.
So I don't know. I've got a little sneaky feeling for the Raiders. I don't know. I say he stays at Michigan or he goes to the Raiders. That would honestly be my pick. But again, congrats to Michigan. We will talk about.
They will be our defending champions coming into next season.
Yeah. The final rankings of the year has Michigan number 1, Washington number 2, appropriately. Texas number 3, appropriately.
Georgia number 4.
Georgia number 4.
Alabama.
I would have probably had Georgia ahead of Texas, but that's just me. But I think the coaches poll might have even had Georgia at number 3. But I would have probably had Georgia number 3, Alabama number 5,
and Florida State at 6.
Florida State number 6, tied with Oregon with points at number 6. Missouri, a surprise top 10 finish. I think they were picked to finish second to last in their division in the SEC and ended up number 8 in the country. The changes that were made on their coaching staff
paid off,
man. And then number 9, you got Ole Miss.
And Ole Miss got a top 10 finish.
Ole Miss with a top 10 finish. So you got 1, 2, 4 of the top 9 teams are SEC. So another typical year in
I thought this
football.
was a down year.
That's a down year for the SEC, and they got 4 of the top 9. And if you count Texas as SEC, which they will be next year, you got 5 of the top 9. Number 10, Ohio State.
Having some issues offensively they need to fix.
Yeah. A surprise number 11, Arizona.
Arizona, that's a pleasant surprise.
Arizona and Missouri are party crashers, I guess you could say. They don't come there all the time, but hey, baby, I'm here today,
And number 12, we have LSU.
LSU with the Heisman-winning quarterback. Number 13, Penn State.
Big game James.
Big game James. Number 14, Notre Dame. And number 15,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Number 16, Oklahoma State. And Tennessee winds it up at number 17. They jumped up like 8 spots, I think.
After shutting out Iowa.
After shutting out Iowa 35-0. Kansas State, number 18. Louisville, 19.
Clemson comes in at number 20.
And another ACC team behind them.
North Carolina State at number
NC
21.
State, a little SMU
at
number 22.
Kansas at number 23.
And this isn't basketball. Iowa rounds up at number 24. And good old
Liberty goes to number 25.
Rounds up number 25. So that's our top 25
for the whole year.
For the entire year. As far as Tennessee goes, Tennessee finished fantastically won that last game. Nico looked good. Brew McCoy is coming back. The biggest part of our offensive line's coming back. So I'm really looking forward to, again,
Joey Halsell is
Tennessee
under
next year.
pressure to succeed with this roster.
Yeah, he's got talent now. He's got some eldermen that stayed with the team. He got some new, young, fresh talent. 5-star wide receivers coming in, 4-star wide receivers coming in. Some good young talent come in. So I'm looking forward to Tennessee. Some people have Tennessee right around that same 15 rank or so. I think in the preseason polls for next, way too early for preseason polls. So 15's it's a good place to start. If you win, you can go up into the top 10 pretty quick. But if not, you can hang around that 15 to 20 mark till you learn as a young team. The last thing of the year we will talk about is probably the biggest thing that's happened
in the past decade.
Really. Nick Saban
has finally decided.
Has left Alabama. He is retired. So we no longer have a Saban-led
Alabama team.
Alabama. He went through a 12-year stretch there where he won 6 national championships.
I mean, that's hard to accomplish. That's really hard to do.
You know, I am no Alabama fan, but he's the best college coach that's ever coached a game. At least in my lifetime. I wasn't there to see the old school guys.
Or the Bear Bryants.
The Bear Bryants and the Robert Nealons. You know, Nealon went through a whole season and didn't give up a point. So I'm not compared to those. But during my lifetime,
Nick Saban is my version of.
He is the best coach that I've ever seen.
He made this team a dynasty.
They were a dynasty, yeah.
A team that everyone wanted to aspire to be was Nick Saban's Alabama.
They 72 and still was recruiting high, coaching high,
and honestly, bringing teams to the postseason.
I think the new NIL program and the transfer portals, and maybe a little age to finally just said, I think I've had enough of this. And I don't blame it. He's had a fantastic career. He's basically going out on top. He made it to the playoffs with probably, this is one of his best coaching jobs that he's ever had too. The first 3 or 4 games of the season, we were thinking Alabama is ripe for the pickings, baby. They look down this year.
Until we forgot.
And then, bam, they're in the playoffs. They beat everybody and they go to the playoffs. Nick Saban is the best
college coach that I've seen.
I
mean, have a nice retirement, my friend.
Yeah, have a nice retirement.
Go have fun with your family. Have a drink. Go to get an analyst job.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
and just enjoy the life because you've earned every bit of the credibility.
I've actually heard from reporters that he's actually funny. When he's not coaching, he's not the serious, grump. He's actually a funny person. So he actually might make a good a little guest commentator every now and then. But that's it. That is college football for 2023 and just a pinch of the postseason for 2024.
And some teams might look the same. Some teams might be drastically different.
Drastically different, yeah. Got a little Peyton Manning helmet over here, a little Bryce Young helmet
we will see how both of these teams look.
Yeah.
Because Alabama, I guarantee, is going to be different.
Yeah, I'm curious how the transfer portal goes. How many Alabama recruits are loyal and how many go, Saban was my man, I'm out of here. I'm curious to see how that rolls out the next couple of weeks too. But we will see coming. Starting next week, we are going to have
some college basketball coverage.
Some college basketball coverage, some sports in general coverage. We're going to sort of have like a This Week in Sports show coming next week. We'll be finishing up the NFL next week. Plus, we're going to have our little This Week in Sports show.
Actually, finish up the NFL and the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but in the next couple of weeks, we're going to finish up the NFL. Was what I meant to say. The next few weeks, we'll finish up the NFL, and then we'll just hang on to our This Week in Sports type thing. Excuse me. But we thank you for sticking around. Thanks again for SevereTV.com for setting us up here in studio.
Thank you for being with us all year.
Yeah, thanks again for Autographs Plus sponsoring us all year with the cool helmets and stuff too. Thanks for hanging out with us, talking some college football. We love college football. Look forward again to next September.
And the 12-team playoff that everyone eyes.
Yes, it's going to be a very interesting year next year. So thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.